All right, next question. How do I measure or recognize my personal growth over time? This is great. First, I'm going to talk about things you shouldn't do before talking about what you should do. Things you shouldn't do. There's this concept that I learned about. Pains me that I don't remember the author's name right now, but they wrote this book called Gap and the Gain, and they also wrote 10x is easier than 2x. Anyway, so one principle I learned from them is called gap versus the gain. Most of the time, people always focus on the gap and they ignore the gain. What does that mean? Let's say you start here and now you're here, but where you're going is here. So the space between here and here, I hope you can still hear me, Sha. The space between here and here is the gap. The space between here and here is the gain. It is what you've actually done. Most people never look at this. All they look at is this, and that is bad, right? Constantly focusing on the gap would belittle the gain that you've already gotten. You've already made some progress. Why are you not focusing on that gain and you are putting all your attention on the gap? You don't have the gap yet. Focus on what you have. It is from what you have, that is the resources you have, the progress you've made, that you will leverage on to cover that gap. So it really doesn't make sense for you to be focusing on the gap. That is one thing. The next thing is comparison. You never want to fall into the trap of comparison, and that is because you don't have full context on people's lives. And I'm teaching you this as much as I am teaching myself this. You don't have the full context on people's lives. You see people, apart from just social media, even if you know the person closely, I still tell you that there's still some things you don't know, right? You don't know the sacrifices they've made. You don't know, the fears they have. You don't know the anxiety they have. You don't know what is going on through their mind. You don't know what they had to go through to make certain decisions, right? Even if everything is going right, everybody has fears. Everybody has pains, and everybody has things that they're probably praying about or wishing away, trying to wish away. So comparison really doesn't make sense, even though all of us still end up doing it. Focus more on the gain instead of the gap. And number two, stop making comparisons. It's just not fair on you.